Good morning. My name is Arthur Turner, and I'm here to talk to you on the subject of walking. And this is one of the series of sessions that my colleagues and I are putting on for you at the TUC Cymru on behalf of the Professional Development Centre. My topic links quite strongly to the other topics, but is specific about walking. And I'll just share with you some slides just to show you what we're going to cover today. This session will attempt to encourage you to take regular walks. Perhaps we're going to teach you a bit of digital time, going for a walk with a friend on FaceTime. We want you to see if you can notice a bit more what is around you. And we'll reflect on community as we do so. And we both want you to the ideas of reflecting on both ideas and issues and possibly problems and challenges too. Two important factors. When you're walking, you've got to breathe. And remember, walking only takes one step at a time. So in these current times, there's a lot of interest about walking. Many people are writing about all sorts of aspects of walking, adventure walking, walks in the night, but also there's lots of thinking about walking and thinking about the issues of trying to find some peace and quiet in this world, and also that the walking is a perfect way, as Daniel Kahneman, the economist, says, to think about your issues and problems. You know, it hasn't always necessarily been a modern thing. This character here, Friedrich Nietzsche, was a great walker, and he said that walking allowed you to become like yourself, which is kind of interesting concept. Well, God, I yell. Now, how can we start? Well, it's quite easy, really. Most of us, even those that maybe have to use other forms of transport, can walk. So this doesn't preclude people in wheelchairs. And it's something you can start doing, even if it's a walk between lampposts at first, if you're not used to getting out from your house. Doesn't really need any special equipment other than perhaps a raincoat and some sturdy shoes, although I'm not sure sturdy shoes are that important. You can still go around the block, around your vicinity, in fairly reasonable shoes, I think. It's interesting, isn't it, that in the current lockdown situation, we're finding more and more people are taking up the government's call to exercise a bit more. I myself have been around, walking around the wider block in my local vicinity in South Wales. And what I've noticed is that people who don't look as though they've been walking much are suddenly appearing in the vicinity. These are people that are perhaps my neighbours, people that I've never spoken to before, in fact often never seen. And there's beginning to build up the idea of community. And what I do notice is people walking around, perhaps not walking quickly and fastly to catch a bus or a train, or unlike some people, you know, most of us who've had to get in the car to go to work and then we drive home from work, you never really see what's around you. You never really see the environment. And this is of huge benefit, I believe. Indeed, I've been using my digital phone when I've been walking, and my grandchildren phone me up and they're interested to know where I am and what I'm doing. And of course, FaceTime gives you lots of opportunity to be with your friends, even if you can't, and to show them where you are. My grandchildren really love the idea of seeing where I am, what view there are, where I'm near. I'm particularly amused at my huffing and puffing when going up and down hills. So we want you to, when you're out, when you're trying walking, it has lots of benefits. I alluded to writers before. A really good book is by Robert Farland called The Old Ways. And that's a really poetic and lyrical look at the way in which human beings in Britain used to get around. Because even 100 years ago, the most common form of transport would have been by foot. And the scientists also have brought together amazing amounts of scientific evidence that, that walking is good for you physically and it's good for you mentally. And there's another book which is in your attached PowerPoint slides, which is called In Praise of Walking by Shane O'Mara. And his evidence really attracts me to thinking of the idea of using coaching, walking and coaching, actually. Walking in coaching, or walking as part of a management tool, or walking as part of getting on with someone, building rapport with them. And this is why we think that in this current time, getting used to and getting prepared for walking, especially in the lovely weather, of course, is a really beneficial thing to do. So just to kind of recap, we'll go back to the screen. And what we're asking you to do is think of taking regular walks. So take your exercise through walking. Maybe even start thinking about how you might convert your journey to work as a walk or a part walk. On your regular exercise, go for a walk with a friend. Even if you can't physically, you can use FaceTime. This digital way is not as good, but is acceptable, I think, in circumstances. We want you to notice what is around you. In particular, in my second session, I'm going to talk about nature and linking to nature. And we want to think about how you might do that and what it means. We want you to use this nice steady pace of walking. 3.5 miles an hour in old money is what is supposed to be really good for your thinking and your oxygenated brain, is to use this opportunity to reflect on kind of ideas about routines you might be in, about issues, thinking about maybe problems or challenges or that you have at work or at home, in order to use your brain to think of better solutions and apply better actions. Okay, 2 things you really have to do when you're going walking. Firstly is breathe. Remember, you only have to take 1 step at a time, and keep looking around you. You don't want to bump into anything on the way. Okay, it's been a real pleasure to talk to you today, and I hope you found this session really useful. Au revoir d'abord, Dieu revoir rien.